1970, Vietnam. This was 55 years ago, and details like the date and location have evaporated. Likewise, a lot of the terminology I once knew is gone, but I don't think exact details matter all that much. But what I'll share here is still clear in my mind. I was a Sergeant E5 squad leader in a duster section, 2 dusters in the 1/44 artillery out of Dong Ha near the DMZ. The Wikipedia article says dusters were crewed by 6 men, but we only had 4 men in a squad, even in training. 6 would have been nice, but with 4, we couldn't really shoot the 40s on the move. We spent most of our time in the field, on the perimeter of one outpost or another. While we usually stayed in one place for several weeks, it wasn't unusual to get short missions away from those locations. One day we were sent out to a small outpost that was surrounded by concertina wire and wide open vistas. We arrived just before sunset, and we were quickly guided to spots on the perimeter. My sister track was about 200 yards away, on the other side of the compound. The night before, they had seen movement several hundred yards from the wire, and we had been sent to beef up the down perimeter defense. We were told that we would need to get permission to fire in case we spotted movement. I set my radio to their frequency, and we settled in to pull another night up in the tub. Shortly after sundown, we spotted movement out in the shrub 400 or 500 yards on the other side of the wire. I couldn't make out much even with binoculars. I got on the radio and asked for permission to fire. I was told that the request would be passed higher, and to wait. As the sky slowly darkened, I observed that they were slowly moving closer, and then it was too dark to see much beyond the wire. Perhaps 20 minutes after my first request, I got on the radio and asked if I had permission to fire. I was told to wait, and then a different voice came on the radio. I was told quite bluntly that they were still waiting for word, and that until they contacted me to let me know differently. I did not have permission to fire under any circumstances. Not what I wanted to hear. And it got darker. We couldn't even make out the outer row of concertina wire. Time passed slowly, like it always does when you are trying to stay awake after being on the move all day. It got very, very quiet. Around 0300, a trip flare went off on the other side of the outpost, in front of our sister track. First, their M60 opened up, and then their 40mm. I popped a flare, trying to get it to float out on the other side of the wire in a location that would help our sister track. Moments later, their fire stopped and then the flares burned out. We waited, hearing nothing. In our tub, barely able to see the ground around the track, we waited. After dawn, we were told to eat and get ready to pull out. As my guys started heating C rations, I walked over to our sister track to find out what happened. Shortly after my flare popped, they realized they were firing at monkeys and stopped. I asked how many monkeys they had killed. Half a box of M60 ammo, and 30-some 40mm high explosive rounds, and they didn't kill a single monkey. It was several weeks before we stopped razzing them. But to be honest, the whole thing made me uneasy about our prospects in an actual ground attack.